The mountains had always been my sanctuary. After a decade working in the orbital docks above Earth, endless noise, metal clangs, recycled air, I craved silence. So, when my grandfather's old log cabin nestled in the Rockies fell to me, I decided to disappear into the wilderness for a while. No comms, no stations, no ships. Just me, the trees, and a place where even satellites barely cared to look. The cabin had been empty for years. I expected cobwebs, dust, maybe the lingering smell of pine sap in the walls. But when I arrived, duffel slung over my shoulder and boots crunching on the frost, something felt off. The fire pit outside had ashes that weren't as old as they should have been. The wood pile was neatly stacked, freshly cut. And when I opened the door, I swore I caught a flicker of movement, something ducking behind the old stone fireplace. Froze. My first thought wasn't alien intruder. It was bear, maybe squatters. "Hello," called, setting down my bag slowly. "This is private property." No answer. Just silence and the faint smell of something cooking. Herbs I didn't recognize, sharp yet sweet. I edged forward, my hand on the hunting knife strapped to my belt. That's when I saw her. She crouched low in the corner, half hidden in shadows, but her eyes gave her away, luminescent like polished amber catching the firelight. Her skin shimmered faintly, as if dusted with starlight, and her hair fell in thick silver strands. She wasn't human. Not even close. She hissed softly when I spotted her, clutching something close to her chest. Her posture was defensive, not predatory. I blinked. My mouth went dry. "You're not supposed to be here." Her reply came in halting English, accented but understandable. "Neither are you." The beginning. We stared at each other for what felt like minutes. My instincts screamed at me to retreat, to run to the safety of the outside world. But curiosity rooted me in place. "I live here," I said carefully. "This is my family's cabin." Her eyes narrowed. "Abandoned." "Me. Mine now." Her voice carried a stubbornness, like a child defending her claim to a toy. I shook my head. "No. This cabin belongs to me. To my family." Silence stretched between us. Her breathing was fast, her chest rising and falling under what looked like stitched-together animal pelts. The longer I looked, the more details I noticed. Faint ridges along her jawline, almost like scales, a thin scar running down her cheek. Hands that ended in claw-tipped fingers, though she kept them curled tight against her palms. She wasn't just camping here. She had been living here. Finally, she lowered her head. "I hide," she whispered. "From who?" Her glowing eyes flicked toward the cabin window, then back at me. She didn't answer. The middle. Over the next few days, our uneasy standoff softened. I didn't force her out. Part of me knew she had nowhere else to go. Another part of me, the engineer who'd seen half the galaxy's ports and politics, recognized something rare. An alien who wasn't in the databases, who didn't belong to any known federation. She told me her name, though it was more a series of syllables I couldn't pronounce. I called her Lyra, and she didn't correct me. Bit by bit, her story unraveled. Her ship had crashed years ago in the uncharted wilds beyond the Rockies. She was the only survivor. The wreckage had long since been swallowed by snow and forest. She had wandered until she found the cabin. Shelter, food, warmth. And because humans rarely came this far up anymore, it became her refuge. "You're hiding from my kind," I guessed one evening as we shared a fire. She nodded stiffly. "Humans always take. Worlds, skies, oceans. You find us, you dissect." Her words stung, though I couldn't deny they carried truth. Humanity's curiosity was often ruthless. If the authorities found Lyra, She'd be dragged into a lab before she could say a word. So I promised her silence. The cabin was remote enough that we could coexist, if we trusted each other. First, trust was fragile. She would vanish into the forest for days, returning with herbs, meat, or strange glowing stones she claimed were safe for fire. She refused to let me approach her when she cooked, as if guarding ancient secrets. But slowly she warmed. She asked questions about Earth, about music, about the stars humans had touched. She laughed once, an unsteady melodic sound, when I burned stew and swore loudly at the smoke. "You, fragile but stubborn," she said, teasing. "And you're not exactly easy company," I shot back, but I smiled. Still, shadows lingered in her amber eyes. At night, she'd sit by the window, staring out as if expecting someone, or something, to come for her. One stormy evening, when the wind howled and snow slammed against the shutters, she finally told me why she hid. "My people hunted," she whispered. "Our world gone. Others wanted us for strength, for breeding, for war." Her hands trembled. "I escaped. Alone." Her words twisted my stomach. She wasn't just stranded. She was a refugee. And I realized then, this wasn't just chance. The universe had dropped her into my life for a reason. Rising conflict. The peace didn't last. A month into our strange companionship, I noticed the hum of an engine cutting through the mountain silence. Not human technology, higher pitched, too smooth. I stepped outside, snow crunching under my boots, and spotted it. A sleek black craft gliding low over the treetops. Lyra froze when she saw it. Her skin's faint shimmer flared brighter. "They've found me," she breathed. "Who?" "Hunters. Not human. Worse." Panic surged through me. I wanted to grab her, to tell her we could run deeper into the mountains, but she shook her head. "They track. Always track." The ship didn't land, but it circled, once, twice, before vanishing into the horizon. But the message was clear. "They'll be back," she said, her voice shaking. That night she tried to leave. She gathered her few belongings, pelts, strange tools, a shard of what I guessed was her ship, and prepared to slip into the forest. "You're not going alone," I said firmly. She glared at me, amber eyes blazing. "You cannot fight them. You are human. Weak." "Maybe," I admitted. "But this is my cabin. My mountain. If they come here, I'm not just going to let them take you." Her lips parted, caught between disbelief and something softer. "Why?" I hesitated, then spoke the truth. "Because no one deserves to be hunted. And because you're not alone anymore." For the first time, she didn't argue. Climax. When the hunters returned, it was at dawn. Their craft landed in a clearing below the ridge, kicking up snow. Figures emerged, tall, armored, their faces hidden behind masks. Alien voices crackled through the air. Lyra stiffened, her body shimmering with faint bioluminescence. "They want me alive," she whispered. "But they will kill you." "Then we make sure they don't," I said, though my pulse pounded. We didn't have much. Old rifles, my engineering tools, Lyra's strange stones that flared with heat when struck. But we had the mountains. Dense trees, rocky slopes, narrow passes. My grandfather always said the land itself could be a weapon if you respected it. So we laid traps. A tripwire of cable across the path. Stones rigged to fall from above. Fires built with Lyra's glowing stones that erupted into blinding light. When the hunters climbed the slope, we struck. The first stumbled into the wire and went tumbling. Another triggered the fire, staggering as light seared through the dawn fog.